I've been trying to figure out how to put this together. And I don't have coherent thoughts. I don't have a script written out. Best I have at this point is a stream of consciousness. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to take this channel. I don't care to fixate on previews of a handful of cards without knowing the totality of a release set. So that's why I'm not doing more Star Trek Attack Wing stuff right now. New stuff should be out in a couple of weeks. December 13th is a posting date. We'll see. That's the hope. That's Romulan Dominion faction packs. Starter set. Supposedly not until the 27th. That bugs me. It bugs me that they can't get it out before Christmas, but I suppose they have their reasons. Okay. So that's that. Another thought's been to devote a lot more time to Star Trek Adventures, and I like that direction because I'm having a whole lot more fun going down that road, planning things, mapping out adventures, writing characters, creating a world for my players to invest in, to explore. Essentially playing God in the Star Trek world, boldly going. And that is what I've wanted. Maybe not always wanted, but that's what I've wanted out of Star Trek. There's a lot of fun there. And maybe you go, oh, David, it's flavor of the month. It'll come and go. And maybe. But there's an elephant in the room with Star Trek Attack Wing that some people are talking about, and I've alluded to it. And I think it's time to actually have the talk about it. WizKids can put out a myriad of new content, and it's all wonderful. I love what's coming out. But unless they change the way scoring happens in the game, the game's solved. I mean solved in the mathematical sense. The build, or some variant of the build, wins. Okay, so what do I mean by the build? State of the Federation did a much better job playing it. I played it at Nationals. Would have won with it if I'd had any practice time. Peter ran it at Worlds and would have won with it again if he had had any practice time. And that is the very rudimentary line of the build. It's evolved. The basics of the build is a shuttle that docks and then warp jumps and attack cancellations. on your main ships. Diplomacy isolates a ship for a round. You can't defeat a fleet that has 3 and 3 warp jumps if they're not there. And you certainly can't defeat them in 60 minutes. Probably not even in 70 minutes. Maybe in 80 to 90 minutes. And a player with any amount of patience can slow play that. And a judge can say, hey, you should probably play a little faster. But a player has every right to take their time. The other standpoint in that, because warp jumps and attack cancellation get you to a tie, you gank. You have one ganking card that allows you to gank either their ganker or some points, and you run away. And you win 3-0, 4-0, 2-0. I don't care, 1-0, 5-0. It doesn't matter. Ask anyone who played against me at inside events. Robert, Steve, I'm forgetting other people. I believe James had to face the warp jump fleet. I know Dustin did not, but Dustin, I think, had to face it at Worlds. It's not fun. This is a nasty build, and it does nothing except frustrate your opponents. I don't want that game. That game kills Star Trek Attack Wing. So WizKids, if you're listening, or any one of the numerous playtesters, and you know who you are, and I know that you know that I know who you are, and I know that you watch my videos sometimes, please address scoring in the tournament rules. Perhaps make warp jump unique. Not even one per ship, because the shuttle circumvents it. You say, oh, but warp jump's a 5-point card. You can't put it on. Yes, you can. Vanek. Or even the name Sakharov. Discounts it by 2. That's a 3-point card. You're clear. So that's 2. That's 2 warp jumps. That makes that one ship pretty tough to kill. 2 warp jumps is about all you need to survive for 60 minutes. That's the reality of it. So warp jump needs to be unique. The tournament scoring, ganking, needs to be some kind of limitation where you don't get the points unless you kill a ship. I don't care about the ship that the points were on, just a ship. You need to kill something in order to get the points. And if you don't kill anything, you don't get the points. Games should not be decided 5-0. That should not be a winning score. 1-0 should not be a score. This should not be you underbuild and you are at risk of losing a game. We had a world title determined by that. That's stupid. Yes, you can say it's an amazing game, and fine, it was. But something should die. This is Attack Wing. Attack. Attack needs to be the key word. We need combat. We need fighting. Yes, I get it. We have support ships. Support ships are great. It's a great concept. But if we don't have combat, if we don't have something out there with the sole purpose of go and fire, this game is going to fail. Because competitive players want a challenge. They want a metagame. They want a rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. They want archetypes. They want a system where they cannot have the best build, where nothing can beat it. Right? Somebody in the community put up a build and said, I need something to beat this. Okay, it was done. Whether or not you listened, that's a whole different story. But the build, yes, fine. Maybe there's one thing out there that beats it, but it doesn't really, because it doesn't beat anything else. It's very easily countered, and you can deal with it even there. All the counters do is give you a fighting chance. So perhaps I'm saying this from a point of naivety. Maybe I don't know enough. But I'm worried about a game I love. If I don't say something, I'd regret it. So this is me saying something. And if you're worried too, then use this to get the attention of WizKids. I don't know how. Just something. This isn't me yelling, this isn't me screaming, this isn't me being belligerent, this isn't me asking for likes or anything else. This is me, being concerned, and being direct. Because at the end of the day, if we want a game to succeed, if we want a game to play on a competitive level, then changes have to exist. The tournament rules are the way to do it. I don't care what happens on your kitchen table. You play how you want on your kitchen table. I'm not addressing you kitchen table gamer. I have no qualms with you. I'm talking about what happens at regionals, at nationals, at worlds. Those are the way rulings need to be made so that people can't abuse the system. Those are the way we make common sense rulings. That's the way that we have to be conservative about things, where we say, hey, the rules are what they are. Stop reading in too much to this stuff. Stop saying, oh, I can switch, or I can take this little part of this phrase in this article and then it's this, and just give it a rest. It doesn't work. Rules tell you what you can do. That's all. Rules are allowable. They're not restrictive. The classic example I give is they never say that you can't flip the table. They never say that you can't walk over to the other side of the board and punch your opponent in the face. Rules are not restrictive. If they were, you would have an infinitely long rule book. So the rules have to tell you what you can do. And even then, a lot of rule books don't do a great job of that. So, a bit of common sense has to come into play. A bit of, pretty sure this is what they were going for. This seems to not break it as much as the other interpretation. We go with that. So, that's me getting a little here here's the other point I have with previews is I see new cards and I go, hey, that's cool. Maybe I'll figure something out eventually. I show cards to like Craig, and he goes, oh yeah, here's a list of what I can do with that card. And that tells me maybe I'm losing a bit of my edge. It's not impossible to get it back. It means that I'm spending my energy on other games, other activities, and that isn't the worst thing in the world, but it speaks to it speaks to kind of the state of the shipyard right now. And it also is kind of this response to the lack of communication from WizKids. I know I can't change anything. I'm me. I'm not being privileged with any of their previews. Fremont isn't even being privileged with any of their previews, and that's unfortunate. I wish we were. That would have been nice. It's not like we've been making videos and having great turnout for months, over a year, and longer before I started going to Fremont, Game Castle, Fremont, by the way. Yeah, this is by no means the demise of the shipyard, the end of the shipyard. This is not me closing the doors, stopping production. It's me kind of saying, hey, daily videos, yeah, that was great while I was doing it, but it was so much work and I burned myself out. And my enthusiasm to continue doing that is about nil. As it stands, it's tough for me to do like 2 videos a week. Star Trek related. I really enjoy doing the board game content. I know I'm not a board game YouTuber yet. I hope that changes at some point. We shall see if it ever truly does, but can't change it without starting. Nobody becomes huge overnight. In a video sense, not a weight sense. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm not feeling appreciated, even though I've done it to myself. I feel like my voice isn't needed because I put up all this content. Not like in the last few weeks, but in the last few months, the last year. And nobody really talked about it. How many people talked about Warp Core Breach on the community, on anything else? If it wasn't Nick or me bringing it up, how many people brought it up? How many people shared a Shipyard video? How many people raised a question? How many people brought something up and said, hey, here's a reference? It becomes disheartening when I pour hours a day, or used to, into thinking about what content to record, recording content, editing content. And then it's not It's not utilized. I mean, sure, maybe people watch it, but then it's gone. It's in one ear, out the other. It's like, I want more. I want more for that. There's so many voices that spew information. And how much of it do you actually process? So maybe that's where I'm at now. I would rather make one video a week where you actually care what I have to say than make 6 videos a week where maybe one of them is worth your time. So I don't know. This has gone off in weird directions. Hopefully that's okay. You get a little bit into my brain, but yeah, that's that. Yay for 4 a.m. musings. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If by any chance any of this made you think, spoke to any part of you, leave a comment. Message me if you don't want to make it public. Tell me something. Talk to me. Because I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Yeah, I'll be back at some point. We'll talk. We'll talk about cards once they're out, and Friday we'll play some Star Trek Adventures. Midweek we're gonna talk. You're gonna see Corey, Kyle, and myself play some more Pandemic Legacy Season 2. So it'll be fun. All right. Have fun. Thank you again. And until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care.